Hello everybody, welcome back to another edition of the Forex Weekly Forecast. Alexander Nikitin is here, and what I'm doing here, I'm looking at the markets, finding some good opportunities, showing them to you, sharing them with you, and also I am explaining what exactly I'm looking at, so you have a little bit of education while watching these videos. And today I'm going to talk about the trend and how I measure the point where I am most likely to enter into the trend. Okay, to do that, to explain my views, I first need some empty space because I will be drawing some pictures. Okay, so I measure the power of the trend judging by its correction, like this. If the correction is small enough, then the trend is strong for me. Usually, when the trend is strong, most traders are using the breakout strategies. So that means in an uptrend, they are buying highs and selling lows when the trend is strong. Okay, this is the example of a strong trend. But when the trend is fading, the correction tends to become more and more deeper and deeper. So this trend, although we have may have new structure highs and new structure lows, higher highs and higher lows, yes, may turn into a kind of channel trending. So in this kind of situations, traders are typically using the bouncing strategies, not breakout but bouncing strategies, and in these strategies they usually buy lows and sell highs. So you need to understand the difference. In a strong trend, the most typical behavior is to buy high, and in the channeling trend, in the channeling mode of the market movement, the most typical is to buy low, and in the downside it is the opposite. When we have a strong trend to the downside, the most typical strategy is to sell low, and when we have a channel at the downside, we also can have those sell highs. Of course, you all know those proverb saying that the only way to become profitable is to buy high and sell low. But it is not what is understood here. What I mean here, when you buy high in a strong market, you are buying it now in having expectations that it will become a low tomorrow, for example. Well, you will close in your targets, when you will close in your take profits. So it means when you close your take profit tomorrow, you see at the yesterday's high and you say, okay, I bought low. And when you have a consolidation, then you need to buy high, which is high right now. That will not turn into, you need to sell high, sorry, which is high right now, and you are not expecting it to turn into a higher high into future. Okay, so this is the difference: buy highs and buy lows. Consolidation, buy lows. Strong market, buy highs, and vice versa for downtrends. Okay, what it means buy highs and buy lows. Okay, in this strong trend, you know that I typically look at the zone of my support and resistance, once I have identified the trend as being at least two impulses separated by correction, and the second impulse should have a higher high and a higher close, I mean the candle close above the previous high. So this means the trend is installed. So how can I get involved into anticipation of this trend? I need to look at the previous structure. And what is that previous structure? First of all, it is the highs of the previous impulse. It is right here. And it is also the lows of the current impulse. So if price action goes to the downside, like this, and my series of higher highs and higher lows is violated, so that means that no uptrend is existing anymore, because uptrend is only a series of higher highs and higher lows. So I have this zone from these highs all the way down to these lows being a kind of demand zone where I will have a potential bullish opportunity. And this zone, if you look left, exactly coincide with the previous correction, exactly coinciding with that previous correction. If you watch my earlier videos, first and the two, you can see it a bit different. Marking the range of the first impulse and marking the range of the second impulse, we have the overlapping zone. It is exactly the same zone. So somewhere within this zone that equals to a correction zone, we will have some bullish continuation. So, but how would I know where exactly this continuation will happen? I do it two ways. First of all, I measure the strength of an uptrend. If this uptrend is strong and I have small corrections in between, then most likely I will be buying highs of the previous impulse. Although it is a sell limit order, I am buying highs. I'm not using the stop order to buy the breakout of this high. I am buying this high when price goes back. So I am buying highs. But when I have a consolidating market or a channeling market that is mostly looking this way, like that, then what I do, I more tend to buy lows. Let me draw the channel here. I'm tending more to buy lows. That's why I'm putting my correction a little bit lower. So I'm tending to buy lows. Maybe this impulse is very huge. Okay, so let it be this way. The closer to these lows. So the larger is this zone, the deeper will be the correction, and I'm looking to buy lows. The lower price goes, the better. And the smaller is the zone, the smaller will be the next correction, and I will be looking for buying some highs of the previous impulse, like that. Okay, hope you understood that. Going back to the markets to see the results, to see the what is that called, the opportunities. Okay, so look at this. Boom, this is impulse, an impulse, and another impulse. And if you measure this correction like that, boom, measure this correction like that, it is 300 something, 340 something, yes. And you measure correction of this, you see it is becoming deeper, deeper, deeper and deeper. The correction of 308, then it becomes deeper, 345, then it becomes larger, 300 and 89. So this last impulse of a trend, of a bearish trend, is maybe is a sign of consolidating period that may start. Okay, so when do I know that I have an uptrend already? Technically, I need the violation of the previous impulse initial point. It means here. And what we had, if we look at this, the high says 46,688 and the close of this candle says 46,722, 67,722. We just closed above at this level. So technically, we have an impulse to the upside. By itself, it means not very much. An impulse to the upside is only a sign of reversal, but it is not a confirmation sign, so the only single impulse means nothing. And we are trading within this range, within this impulse range. So by itself, it means nothing. So, but let us look at the movement within this range. We had that upside movement, we had an outside return, and then we had a continuation to the upside. And as you see, being in a more consolidating zone, being in that channeling zone, yes, traders are looking to buy lows and sell highs. That's why, let me delete this. That's why if you measure this correction as your potential buying zone of this, just the final point of the previous impulse and initial point of your current impulse. So where is your projection, where price will most likely go? Will it start movement from this? Boom and boom, just at the highs of that previous impulse? Did anybody started buying these highs? No. Everybody is waiting until prices will go lower to test the lows, because everybody sees the consolidating, not yet consolidating, but channeling period, because of these corrections becoming larger and larger and larger. So this correction is larger than previous. You can measure that. You see it? And then we failed to install a new impulse to the downside, so corrections becoming larger and larger and larger. That means channeling market. In channeling market, we usually have buying lows and buying highs. Okay, and if you look at this, because structure is a turning point, yes? Let's see that. Turning point of this. Did we succeed to reverse, to have a continuation? No. Okay, let us see other turning points within this zone. What are other turning points? Boom, boom. Let's see them. Boom, boom, and boom. We have a turning point here also. Did we succeed to go higher? No. We also have a turning point also here. Will we most likely go to the upside from here? Hard to say. No. At least I'm expecting to test the lows. So I'm seeing at those turning points that are pointing to the downside, but not those turning points that are pointing to the upside. I'm not looking at peaks. I am looking at kind of dips to be retested. So I'm expecting this price to go lower first. Okay, after that, when I have defined the zone, when I'm looking to buy that between these lows somewhere here, what then I do? What I do then? I just apply some Fibonacci ratios and calculate my entries and targets. First thing, I do the measurement of the most recent leg. And I need 382 and 786. So if price moved to 382, then my first criteria is met. The next thing, I measure this. And again, if price went back to 382, then it is okay all the way until it exceeds my second point. So if this all happens, then I enter at 786, which is exactly right here. Boom to boom. I'm not expecting very good bounce to the upside because of this trend turning into a channel trend. That's maybe will be looking this way. Most likely will be looking this way. Sorry. Okay. It will most likely will be looking this way. We didn't have very good violation to the upside above this impulse. Look at this candle. Is it a good bullish candle? How do you know? If we have spike to the upside higher than larger than the spike to the downside, then this bullish candle is losing its momentum. And this bearish candle, if we have the spike to the upside larger than the spike to the downside, then this bearish candle is stronger. So weak bullish candle, strong bearish candle. So this is a very good resistance or something level. Maybe looking like this, maybe looking like that. And every time price goes there, everybody will be interested to sell. And at this lows, everybody will be interested to buy. Okay, so let me apply that triangle tools to see how it goes. Boom to boom. Look at B point, it is 517. Look at C point, it is 393, which is good for me. 382 is minimum. So at 786, this line will be my entry. Let me delete the stuff that is not needed, and the setup will become very clear. Boom. No need these rectangles, only this to this. Boom, boom. Come on. And once again. Okay, so it's enough for that. What are my targets here? If I'm not expecting the large movements to the upside, my targets should be somewhere between to 618 maximum, 618 retracement. Let me enable this. Fibs, it's called entry. It is showing the 786 and the stop loss of exactly 1. And let me enable this, that is called the target. The target is 618. It is here. Okay, guys. Well, if let me go back, enable this one. 382. Typically, when price goes here to the upside, I am moving my stops of break even, or I am closing half of my position here, and then I have a risk-free opportunity all the way to the upside until that 618 target, the secondary target of mine. But because of lack of time, I'm not always in front of my computer to check my trades. I did my testing and I did my change in my strategy. Now I'm taking all the target at 382, especially when I'm day trading. I'm taking all the targets at 382. So it's up to you to decide whatever your trading plan says. Either you take this, either you take that, but I will not look for some continuation extending to the A points that you may see in my previous ideas posted. They all depend on the market situation. Doesn't mean I take my target always at that exactly point. Okay, so 382 at minimum, 618 secondary target. Dropping that long position size calculator. So it shows us the details of this trade. Boom. At least here. 1.2, 1 point something. Okay, so that's it. That's my setup. Buying if price goes to the downside, then I will be buying that at 786. Looking for a bounce to the upside to that target. So that's it. Having the risk to reward ratio 1.2. My research shows that we have 65% accurate having this 382 with my trend identification system on pound dollar. So that's it. 65. You can think about that. 1.2 is the risk to reward. I think a very nice opportunity to get involved into it. Okay, hope it was useful. Thanks for joining me today. Please do me a favor, share it, these videos, like it, subscribe to my channel, support me by doing this work, and I will shoot more videos explaining more setups and giving a little bit of more education for you for free next time, next weekend. Hope you learned something. Goodbye.